He's the best.
Good question.
In my opinion, Tim Tebow is the best college football player of all time. Like,
Oh boy.
I mean, no, I think you've got a great case. I made that argument to someone else, and a buddy of mine who knows as much football as anybody I know, big SEC fan, and he looked at me like I had a third eye. But like, if you look at resume and what he did, who accomplished more in college than Tim Tebow?
Yeah, I agree. Tim Tebow was great in college. Of course, you could always argue Herschel Walker being up there.
Yeah.
Too. Herschel, unbelievable. Bo Jackson, right up there as well. I mean, there's all kinds of guys like that. But man, I just don't see how his number's not retired. I mean, I know they got him a statue out there, but his number's not retired.
Harrison's family, let me clarify. I don't know that he was the best of all time, but you look at his body of work and what he did. And I mean, he could have won 2 Heismans. He got a national title. I mean, Tim Tebow, I mean, did he have the SEC rushing touchdowns record or had it at Florida?
I think he had the all-time SEC touchdowns record. I think he had was the overall yardage leader in his career.
Yeah.
And it was ridiculous, the numbers that he put up.
I don't know that I can go best player, because I would think that the best player who's ever played in the SEC, if he's that good, he should have gone to the NFL and did more than he did. But in terms of just what he did at Florida,
things. I mean,
like if you had win shares or wins above replacement for football players, I mean, Tim Tebow's WAR would have been pretty crazy.
Well, give us your opinions real quick. Who in the chat? Who do you think is the best college football player of all time?
By the way,
you cannot call in. We don't have a phone line, but you're welcome to drop a comment or a question in the chat.
Well, hold on a second here, Chris, because before we answer that, we need to do a little investigative work here. Is this Edward Orgeron? Because if it is, you can absolutely call in. We will set something up to where you can call in, and we'll put you on the speaker right now. So
yeah, we'll figure it out.
Let's make that clear. We already got Steve Spurrier talking about. I mean, we talked about him earlier. Let's get Ed Orgeron, Steve Spurrier on here. I'll set this one out. So
a super chat with Ed Orgeron and Steve
super
Spurrier.
Call. That's it. That's it, Harrison family. I wish we need to find a super call button.
I tell you another player that may want to be mentioned in that category. There's 2 more. Reggie Bush and Ndamukong Suh may be 2 of the better college football players of all time.
I will tick off our audience. Suh should have won the Heisman his last year at Nebraska. And I'll tell you who else. Aaron Donald should have won a Heisman. But we don't give Heismans to defensive players just because we've decided we don't.
The real Edward O.
He says he's the real Edward O.
Yeah, the real deal.
All right, prove
We're going to find a way. Next Wednesday or this weekend, we do our reaction videos, Edward O. We're going to find a way to set up a call for you. So you got to confirm. We're going to go through. If we don't get
How do we know you're the real Edward
Chris,
O?
Here you go. If we don't get Ancestry.com as a sponsor now, given how many times I've mentioned them in this 1 hour, something's wrong with us because I'm trying to prop them up all I can here. Let's run through some of these. We're going to just, kind of stroll through some of these comments because here's our 2-minute warning here, guys, 2 or 3 minute warning, and we're going to hop off. So anything else, jump on in there with your comments. And like Blayne said, if you have your thoughts, we're seeing some of them there. Herschel Walker has been mentioned, Bo Jackson. Again, another Tebow vote here.
Derek Thomas.
So there's a lot of good players. So
Barry Sanders.
By the way, we do
Darren
McFadden.
Darren McFadden was pretty awesome.
Then again, I'm not gonna I'd have to really look in terms of best all time. But this is a good point. Like I think it's so easy for us who follow the SEC sometimes. There are so many good players that come through the league. Like it's almost like eventually it's like, man, there's just so many good players. Like you can't even remember back far enough to really get a grasp on how good certain guys were. But my goodness, how good was Darren McFadden? Like he was unreal.
They had a backfield of him, Felix Jones, and who was the other kid who played with the Browns for a bit and was okay? Like
Talking
did
about,
some stuff in the league.
Peyton Hillis
Yes, that's the guy.
on the cover of Madden too.
What?
Yeah, he made the cover of Madden.
Yeah,
Wow.
he was on the Madden
Okay.
cover. So
Forgot
yeah,
that.
Peyton Hillis. The answer's coming in. Yeah, everybody.
Let's see. Auburn had Cadillac Williams, Ronnie Brown, and the big kid who played for the Giants all at the same time. I keep forgetting the third guy in the trios here. He was like 260 pounds and it was a tailback and played in the NFL for maybe 8 or 9 years. If you say his name, I will know it.
No, I would have to look it up. So, Hog Barbecue, by the way, brings up a good point. On cover Madden, immediately got hurt. Madden curse,
Of course.
struck Peyton Hillis and
Jacobs. That's right.
Jacobs, that's it.
Brandon Jacobs.
Yeah, that's it.
And if you want to go way back, Auburn had Lionel James, James Brooks, and William Andrews. If we're doing 3 running back groups, all 3 of those guys, I think, were all pros or made a Pro Bowl.
Clowney was another guy, just skill wise, pretty dominant.
Yeah, I don't know that the production ever caught up with the. But I mean, he was pretty dang good. Yes, Barry Sanders was the best running back who ever lived.
Herschel Walker got something to say about that.
Barry had nothing. I mean, he just made it on his own.
If Herschel doesn't go to the USFL, if he goes to the NFL right out of college, totally different.
Yeah.